Good morning to everyone, near and far, and welcome to Dana-Farber Cancer Institute's Presidential Symposium. While we have gathered in person for this annual event for nearly 2 decades, we are so inspired by the turnout for the symposium today, and we're so glad to see so many of you who have joined us in this new virtual format. For those of you whom I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Melanie Duvall, and I'm the Senior Vice President and Chief Philanthropy Officer at Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. It is my honor to engage with you this morning throughout the sessions. We've made every effort to maintain the types of conversations that make this event so special. So please use the chat feature to share your comments and connect with one another. And we welcome your questions through the Q&A feature as well. We will do our very best throughout the day to answer as many questions as possible. That said, if your questions aren't answered live, a member of the Dana-Farber team will be in touch to provide answers to your questions following today's program. While the breadth and depth of today's presentations are vast, one constant that underpins all of the presentations today is the progress that is made possible with your philanthropic support. Now, we will start today's program with a brief video about how we must pursue our work at Dana-Farber, even in the face of a public health crisis. And then we'll hand the program over to our Chairman of the Board, Josh Bekenstein, and Dana-Farber's President and CEO, Dr. Laurie Glimscher.
In good times and bad, cancer doesn't stop. Even when schools are closed, when people are sequestered in their homes, when we are uncertain about the way forward. So at Dana-Farber, we don't stop either. We are treating our patients. We are pushing forward our life-changing research. We won't stop.
I really just love the care that all of the patients get, and I love working somewhere where I feel like people are truly getting the best.
We're still safely and compassionately giving every patient the care that they need. During this uncertain time, you can be certain about this. We are here, supporting our patients. Please continue to support us in the weeks ahead, because cancer doesn't stop, so neither will we.
Welcome to all our Presidential Symposium attendees, trustees, and faculty. My name is Josh Bekenstein, and I'm proud to say that I'm the chairman of Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. It's an honor to have all of you here watching us on Zoom. Of course, we would prefer to be doing this in person like we usually do, and it'd be fabulous to do that, and we will do that again when it's safe. But for now, we greatly appreciate you joining us and spending the time with us on Zoom. We think we have a very exciting day set up and couldn't be more appreciative of you spending your time with us. As you know, this has been a very challenging year at Dana-Farber, as with all hospitals and as with everyone in the world with COVID-19. I am very, very proud of how Dana-Farber has dealt with this situation. From the time that COVID started, Dana-Farber has been incredibly focused on making sure that we could still give our patients the absolute best care, because despite COVID-19, cancer continues to obviously affect people, and those people need the best care. And in fact, one of the things that I've been incredibly impressed with is the feedback I personally have gotten from patients who said they were Dana-Farber and were just amazed at how the care seemed equally as good during the COVID crisis as it had ever been. And that's due to our fabulous faculty, our wonderful doctors and nurses and everyone else that works at Dana-Farber to do everything to take care of our patients. And then really importantly, we've been able to continue to do the research that we're doing. Dana-Farber is a 50-50 institution. We are 50% focused on our patient care and 50% focused on our research. And of course, the patient care is critical for patients today, and the research is so critical for patients for the next decades. And one of the things that's unique about us at Dana-Farber is the 50-50 mix. It means we have fabulous research and fabulous care, and we do a better job, we think, than anyone of bringing research, from the bench to the bedside faster and more effectively because of that dual focus of Dana-Farber. And we're equally as proud of our researchers for how they figured out how to continue their research and make sure they're still advancing the cause of fighting cancer during this very challenging time of COVID. Just recently, we've continued to get awards and mentions about our great care and recognition of the research that we do. And one of the very, very exciting things we've had, and you'll get to meet him later today, is that Dr. Bill Kaelin was awarded the Nobel Prize in late 2019. We have not been able to celebrate with Dr. Kaelin in person as much as we'd like to, but he will be on a panel later today that I'll be involved with. And he is one of the so many fantastic researchers we have at Dana-Farber that are really doing their best work to save lives in the future from cancer. You all are obviously critical to what we do at Dana-Farber. We could not do the research that allows us to advance the cause of cancer without all of your support. And for that, we are so grateful. We are in 2021, we have aggressive goals, as always. One of the goals in 2021 will be to kick off the public phase of our campaign, a campaign that will be absolutely critical as we approach our strategic goals going forward for the future. So for all of those of you who have already participated, thank you so much. And for those who can join up with the campaign, we are super appreciative. Today should be really a great day. We have very exciting speakers, and I want to not delay us anymore. My role now is to introduce our CEO, Dr. Laurie Glimscher. Laurie is a fabulous CEO doing an amazing job leading Dana-Farber pre and during COVID-19. Laurie is a fabulous researcher of her own. She's a member of the National Academy of Sciences, a fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, a member of the National Academy of Science of Medicine, and she's the former president of the American Association of Immunologists. And Laurie has authored or co-authored over 350 articles during her amazing career. Again, we're so lucky to have Laurie at Dana-Farber, and I'm now going to turn the program over to Laurie. Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you, Josh, for your thoughtful remarks. It is my distinct privilege and honor to welcome you all to Dana-Farber Cancer Institute's Presidential Symposium. This annual event is a celebration of you, our community of exceptional supporters, and a true highlight of the year for me. As I've said throughout these past months, many times, that cancer does not stop in the face of a pandemic, and neither have we at Dana-Farber in delivering exceptional care and research. And I would add with emphasis that neither have you as champions for our mission. Despite the challenges we face throughout, with your backing, we've met them all with the poise, grace, and compassion that has always been Dana-Farber's hallmark. By working together and supporting each other, we continue to deliver the best cancer care possible and conduct cutting-edge research. We've been hearing from our patients and their families throughout this crisis, and many have been very reassured by the ways we've adapted to keep them safe and supported. Such is the case for one grandmother of 5 for whom an ovarian cancer clinical trial was actually a source of stability during a difficult year for her. Like so many, her beloved pastimes, including playing the violin in a senior orchestra, book groups, and weekly church services, are now virtual due to the COVID-19 pandemic, so she had to cancel a March trip to visit family, and she spent the summer packing up and selling the home she lived in for nearly 50 years. Through all those changes, however, the one thing in her life that has remained a steady comfort is her ovarian cancer treatment as part of a clinical trial since November 2018 through Dana-Farber's Susan F. Smith Center for Women's Cancers. In her words, "It sounds a little strange," she said, "but everything in this part of my life is under control. My treatment has been wonderful this year." and she recently welcomed and got to hug her newest grandchild for the first time. Having welcomed and hugged my own newest grandchild, Teddy Auchincloss, a pandemic baby this spring, I'm so happy to see that she's living her life to the fullest. It's something deeply inspiring to me personally to keep our doors open and clinical trials active for the patients we serve. To talk more about these efforts and the way we're moving forward with indispensable cancer research and care, we have an exceptional lineup of special guests and leaders in the field who've joined me today to engage with you. You'll also see on your screen a number of Dana-Farber trustees and faculty members who've worked to shape our symposium program, and particularly the 7 breakout sessions that you're going to have the choice to attend later today. I'd like to acknowledge their leadership and encourage you to connect with them, to ask questions throughout the day. You can find much more information about each of them in the speakers section. Just look for the menu at the top of your screen. Before we look forward, I'd like to take a few moments to reflect on some standout accomplishments from the past year, even in the face of adversity. In the past year alone, despite the cancellation of most in-person Jimmy Fund events we know and love, community efforts to carry forward with fundraising coupled with major philanthropic contributions helped to bolster the Institute's finances, which, as you can imagine, are facing immense pressure in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. Some highlights include 3 new endowed chairs for preeminent faculty members, more than $11 million raised for Dana-Farber's Emergency Response Fund, multiple gifts above $25 million for the first time ever, and the announcement of $26 million total raised over for a first-of-its-kind venture philanthropy model for the Dana-Farber Innovations Research Fund. Moreover, thousands of people walked in their own communities for this year's Boston Marathon Jimmy Fund Walk. Many hit the links in a socially distant manner, raising funds for Jimmy Fund golf tournaments and the Jimmy Fund Golf Challenge. And more than 350 Dana-Farber Marathon Challenge runners participated in the 124th Boston Marathon virtual experience. Exemplifying the motto, "There's a lot riding on us," the PanMass Challenge reimagined showcased the relentless drive of this community of supporters. My husband Greg and I joined the riders for the 5th time this year. Collectively, this extraordinary philanthropy drives the momentum of our care and research efforts, led by exceptional scientists and those healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, administrative staff who are on the front line, whose work has not been thwarted even in the face of unthinkable challenges. Some highlights from the past year include the opening of Dana-Farber's new site in the Merrimack Valley, offering expanded care and outpatient services for adult patients in the region, access to clinical trials, genetic testing, and supportive counseling. Dana-Farber researchers presented on hundreds of studies at some of the world's foremost events in cancer medicine, like the annual meetings of the American Society of Hematology in December and the American Society of Clinical Oncology in May. Among the many honors and recognition of our faculty, 3 Dana-Farber faculty members were among the 19 international scientists elected to the prestigious Fellows of the American Association for Cancer Research Academy. A new center of excellence, the Center for BRCA and Related Genes, was launched this summer, dedicated to the care for, the prevention of, and research into BRCA-related cancers. And just last month, Dana-Farber opened a clinical trial to evaluate a simple blood test for many types of cancer. But even with successes like these, there is still so much more we need to do. And so as we look to the year ahead, we know that our goals are very ambitious and the work is demanding, but we believe it is possible because of all of you. In 2021, building on decades of support, compassionate care, and scientific discovery, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute will launch a $2 billion comprehensive campaign. This is the most ambitious campaign in our history. We're currently in the quiet phase of this campaign, which will change the future of cancer medicine. With you, our philanthropic partners, together we are poised to lead the next great breakthroughs in precision cancer medicine, immunotherapy, prevention and early detection, data sciences, innovative drug discovery, and much, much more, all with the goal of delivering the best care to more people in a safe environment where all feel welcome. Together, we will overcome the greatest challenges in cancer by igniting trailblazing science, powering our extraordinary people, and advancing unmatched care for our adults and children with cancer. We must expand our exceptional care to more people. This has never been more important. And that's why construction of the new Dana-Farber Chestnut Hill facility is on track for opening in early 2021 as an extension of our Yawkey Center for Cancer Care. In addition, we must remain focused on expanding our care to other communities in and around Boston. We have even more work to do in this regard, as the COVID-19 pandemic has laid bare the inequities and disparities in healthcare. Today's agenda highlights the sessions where we will deep dive into these priorities together, learn more, and raise questions for discussion, please. It's exactly this type of discussion and your engagement that bolsters and inspires our work. We have an abiding commitment to listen and learn from you. I hope and trust you will find today's symposium both informative and inspiring, and I reiterate my gratitude for your tremendous support.